All right, recording has started, and this is the March 22nd, 2022. There's a lot of 22s going on there. Rook community meeting. So let's jump on into milestones and upcoming things. 1.7, we haven't had to do a patch release for that, or we're not planning on one coming up, so we'll basically just completely skip that one. For the 1.8s, though, we did a patch release, the 1.8.7, that was just 2 days after the community meeting last week or last time. So we did do that one, and then we'll have another scheduled one at the end of the month here. I believe that'll be after Travis gets back. And so he made a comment that there's not anything super pressing that we're aware of. So we will just do that scheduled one after he gets back. Let's take a quick look at the board, though, and see if there's anything important that folks want to bring up any notes on. We don't have anything in the blocking release column. We've got a couple things that have been merged in. I don't know if there's a big pressing thing or any risks to call out here. Seb, do you have any ideas about things that we need to get in or anything that's important?
No, I like everything I see in the to-do column are not super critical. I mean, eventually they will get them in, but it's nothing super urgent as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That's aligned with how we're not planning on doing the release until Travis is back anyways. So that makes sense to me. All right, and then obviously there's the upcoming 1.9 release as well, which will be the next minor release. That's as we've been discussing over the last couple community meetings, that is contingent upon the Quincy release of Ceph being available and official builds and all that jazz. So that apparently, this is news I think that we didn't know before. The release is for Ceph Quincy is March 31st now. And so then we'll be able to take that release and then start doing our release candidates for 1.9 pretty much directly after that. So we'll create the 1.9 release branch right after that as well. We'll start using the official Ceph release, and we'll start getting release candidates out, working towards the 1.9 official release for Rook out of that 1.9 branch. So that looks like it'll be targeted for about a week later on April 7th. So we're kind of coming down till a limited amount of time in the 1.9 main branch feature work there. So I don't know actually how well updated this board is here, but let's talk about some of the outstanding features that we have and we're trying to get in. There's a number of things in progress. Some of these are actually merged though.
Yeah,
closed, so I would assume that those should be moved to done then, since they are already closed down. But yeah, let's talk about some of the tasks here then that are outstanding or in review, since we do have a limited amount of time before we're trying to branch and get 1.9 going there. So Seb, this one it was opened by you. I don't know if you're working on it though, but
yeah, no, someone is. Yeah, someone is. So the first one, the person has rebased the branch. So I think it's almost ready to be merged. So that's going to make it for 1.9. It's a major change in the code base. So we're just waiting the last minute to merge it so that we can really avoid like backports and cherry pick conflicts. So this one is going to be in. The second one is probably going to miss the 1.9, but might end up being a backport. So because it's a bug fix, I'm working on this one, and the Rook code is ready, but there is another architectural change, and maybe it's the wrong. Yeah, I think it's in the wrong. Yeah, it is actually the wrong one. I think you can move this one out, and I can update with my. So I just updated my 2 PRs. So which, if you refresh or something, you should see 2 new in progress.
On the 1.9 board stuff?
Well, yeah, but it looks like it didn't work for some reason. So repo. Okay, for some reason, I'm not able to add the PR in the project board.
Do you see an error
That's a bit
message, or
strange.
is the project missing, or what do you see?
I'm not getting anything. Can you try to go on 9925? It's the PR.
9925. Oh, just the issue itself. Is that on, it's
No,
not on
no.
the board though?
Yeah, it's not on the board. It's not showing. It's a PR. It's not an issue.
Got it.
Yeah,
Nice,
it
good
got it.
result.
It got it anyways. Yeah.
Nice.
Can you try to add it to the project?
Yeah, it
Okay,
looks for some reason I'm not signed in right now. So hold on a second. Let me just sign in.
Oh, okay.
That ain't gonna help.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
GitHub is
I heard there's an
having
outage
issues.
with GitHub today too. So there could be some lingering funny
Oh,
business
wow.
going on
Yeah,
here.
I just looked at the status page and everything is like, yeah, I think that's why we cannot really add it. If you go to like githubstatus.com,
Oh,
everything is,
I'm still not signed
yeah.
in. So yeah, I can't even log in right now. So yeah,
Yeah, but you don't have to be logged in to check out the status page. But you'll see that everything is,
I thought you were saying, okay, yeah, gotcha. GitHub status.
yeah,
It's here.
yeah, this one.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh yeah, that doesn't look good. Okay, so we may not be able to accomplish anything with GitHub right now, but we will try to update the board later. So maybe that's why some of these guys are still stuck in progress and they haven't been moved to done. Like maybe, oops. Okay, so anyways, but so you have, so then this, so is that 9925? So is this a separate PR then that is the alternate approach that Blaine is discussing here, or is that a totally different PR we're talking about?
no, it's the internet approach of that
Okay.
PR based on a new design proposed in 9903, which I'm also trying to add to the release 19 board. But
good luck.
Yeah, I'll try later.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so we'll get that on the board, and that's in draft. So is it already being reviewed then, or is there some more work to do before you open it up for out of draft?
I think there is a little bit more work to do because there is a new container image and everything. So it's a bit of a logistic to do, but like feature functional wise, I think we have what we want.
Okay, got it. Okay, so then we can try to remove this then from the board as well, since this is an abandoned effort. Once GitHub is back and running and able to do right operations, it would seem. Any other comments then on some of the other features that are in progress in the status on those ones and the making it into 1.9?
I don't remember about the LDAP integration. I don't remember the status of this one. I think it's just the issue. So it has, okay, there is a PR currently. Yeah, okay. So it hasn't really made much progress.
Yeah, there hasn't been much movement on this. Okay.
Yep, so I guess the PR needs a bit more attention.
And then this guy here?
Shubham is working on it. Yeah, he's working on it. Hopefully this will make it for 1.9. I'm a bit hesitant.
Is this the linked pull request here? Is this pull request addressing this issue?
There is a PR, yeah.
See what the latest is on this. Okay. Cool. Yep. So he's working on that as well. Okay. Cool. Anything else then that's like worth mentioning that's part of the to-do column then, since all these are done and we'll get those moved when GitHub's back.
Well, to do doesn't always mean that we are going to implement everything. It's more like
agreed.
we do everything we can and some of the items will be leftovers for next minor release of 1.9, for example, or just move that to 10, I guess, yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay, so then it's about almost 9 days or so. It's a little bit more than a week before we'll go ahead and create the 1.9 release branch, and then a week of bake time in the release branch before we'll get out that release. Any other comments then, or things to bring up in terms of releases and milestones?
I just want to point out that we have been testing on Quincy for a few months already. So the CI is set up in a way that the next release is always tested on a nightly basis. So we have strong confidence already. It's not like we're waiting for the stable version to come in and start testing. So we already have Quincy support. It's just a matter of now testing and producing the new container images with the official stable release, but we're there.
Release. Okay, awesome. And then, so this is using, so then Seb, have we, in order to have been using Quincy already in like our, in master builds, et cetera, is that what the way we've done that is with using this v17 tag ahead of time, or is this a new update then that's helping?
There is another tag. There is another tag which essentially follows whatever current master is, and we use it. And we also have devel versions which are at the tip of the branched version. So once you have the Quincy branch, then you have tags, but then you have the tip, which is everything between the tag and what's coming next. We also test that out.
Okay, great. So yeah, so then this PR then moved it to using that v17 tag.
Yeah, because v17 is the broad tag, which is actually pulling 17.1, which is the release candidate, and then 17.2 would be the final stable version. Yeah, it's mentioned here actually. 17.1.
Yep. Okay, great. And then it also looks like we'll need some testing then on the 1.9 upgrade guide, specifically related to renaming this pool to the .mgr pool. So we'll have to make sure to follow up on testing the upgrade guide to make sure that's a smooth update in the real world also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So yeah, so it looks like we're making great progress then towards 1.9 and getting that out. Using the stable version of Quincy, converging on, making sure that the migration and upgrade story is good. That's perfect. That's wonderful. And Travis also had a action item that he was going to review the pending release notes for Quincy to check on any new features and make sure that there's nothing else to worry about in terms of things we need to integrate or deal with, changes, etc.
I think we all did to some extent, and we haven't really found anything that we consider critical or could be breaking users. So that's
cool. All right. Well, thanks for doing that then, Seb. Okay, then anything else then in terms of agenda items or things that folks wanted to bring up today, since we're into the end of the written agenda so far. Alex, anything on your mind?
Nothing.
All righty. Cool. Then if there's nothing else to add, then we can go ahead and adjourn for the week then.
I actually had one something I wanted to bring up. So I'm just pasting a PR link here. So I'm kind of a new contributor to Rook. I've got my first PR merged I think last week. So I was interested in working on this, but I'm in need of some clarification around what exactly needs to happen for this. So as I understand this, right now we kind of decipher this YAML snippet from different whatever different expressions that are supplied to different fields. Let's say, for example, as you can see in the CSI provisional node affinity, it says not and then my key. So then it translates and generates the snippet where it kind of just expresses that into those terms. If you scroll at the bottom, then Travis mentions this idea that I'm not sure what he exactly, what functionality does he mention, but it would be a solution to even arbitrary logic, which I'm not exactly able to wrap my head around. So
Honestly, I haven't been involved in that issue, but I would really suggest that if you have any questions, then you put all of them into the issue, and when Travis comes back or others have time to look at it, then they will reply if that works for you. I think it's just better because right now we don't have Travis.
yeah, sure.
Cool.
I think I might understand what Travis is saying here. How about we'll try to chat a bit about it on Slack and see if we can maybe like dive into, because this, as far as I understand Travis here, sorry for the noise in the background, is that instead of us doing some parsing logic, we would basically switch it to so the user provides it as YAML, and we use YAML on Marshall or some other cool function in Kubernetes to unmarshal it directly into the anti-affinity or affinity structures, which would make our lives, I think, much easier as well for the future. So yeah, I think let's chat on Slack and let's see that we get you going there.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, I actually thought about that as well, but it was kind of like, aren't we increasing like? Isn't this like counterintuitive for the user? But okay, let's talk on Slack. I don't want to take any more time. That's fine.
Yeah, let's talk later on the Slack.
Yeah.
Feel free to ping me on Slack there. In the soft dev channel, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for suggesting that, Alex, and volunteering yourself to help out with that issue. And thank you for bringing that up as well in the first place there. So yeah, that's great. And I appreciate the contributions you're making too. Okay, cool. Yeah, then I guess after that, then we'll follow up with that on Slack, and we can go ahead and adjourn now then. All right, thanks everybody.
Am I on?
Yes.
Hi. So I'm also kind of a new contributor to Rook. So I sent in a PR. I think that was being discussed for the context what to do. So it was a beginner PR. So I wanted to ask, so what would be the procedure to kind of pick things up and understand things as we go along? So should I just kind of look through all the issues there or something like that?
You mean to pick up new work items?
Yes.
Yeah, typically you can look at the issues, and if nobody is assigned to it, like in the assignee list, feel free to just drop a comment and say that you are willing to take it up, and then we will assume that you are working on it.
Awesome.
That's typically how it works.
Yeah, and one way that you can maybe get a idea of what issues are somewhat prioritized as well is by looking at the release boards here and see that, hey, in 1.9, these are things we'd like to do, but like this one here doesn't have somebody assigned to it. This one here doesn't have someone assigned to it. So there are issues, at least that we have identified somewhat recently, as being useful. But nobody's working on them there, so like that is a good place to look for in terms of issues that probably have relevant and recent value as well.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for your work on that. All right, sweet. Now final call for anything else. All right. Then we'll go ahead and adjourn. Thanks everybody. Good to see you all.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Care.
Bye.
Have a good one. See ya.
Bye.